Okay. Welcome back to the Pop. I am your host, Maria, creator and founder of Mastering Progress, and a 20 something year old who decided instead of going to therapy, she was going to start a podcast. So here we are. And welcome to another episode of the Pop. Um, so, um, we went over my love life a little bit over the past few weeks, and now we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics, which is money. Um, I think it's really important to be really transparent about money because no one is. No one's transparent, especially the rich are not transparent about money. Now, let me be transparent with you and say that I grew up with money. I grew up with money. I am very open about that. I think people can tell sometimes because I am very particular about certain things in my life. And also welcome to the new backdrop. We have a nice little donation from um who do hold on. We hold on a second. Let me get my life together. So, we have a new donation to the Pop backdrop, and so we changed it up a bit. And she's beautiful, and I love it. And there's like a slight bit of glitter in it, and love, I do love a nice highlight glitter moment. So this is perfect. And we also love Chanel, so how could we not? Anywho, back to the topic at hand. I did grow up with money. I don't think I ever had to want for anything in my life. As I always say, very privileged lifestyle growing up. I will always be thankful for that. Thank you to Dr. and Mr. Ugu, because Doctor comes before the Mister, just to let you know, ladies. But anyway, so my mom and dad, they instilled some great senses of taste in their daughter, even though they may not talk to her right now, but it's okay. They did a good job. I definitely was a rebellious teen, so I took advantage of the fact that, my family did have money, and I'm learning now that I was a spoiled brat. I know that and will stand on that. I was a spoiled brat, but I'm very thankful for my upbringing because there are some things that some people do not know, especially like manners and etiquette, when you go out, and it's like I look at them and I'm like, what happened here? Like I'm so thoroughly concerned. Like my kids growing up, first of all, that's why I have to make my money so that my kids will be going to a certain type of private school. I'm not sure all their teaching will be at private school because I don't believe in that. I went on and off to private school, so I was in and out of the trenches. Honestly, one thing I will tell you is that private school is a different kind of defiance. Like, they do stuff that only people with money will do, whereas in public school, it's heard about more because they're out in public. No. It's just heard about more because it's a little more rambunctious, but like private school people know how to get into trouble too. And they are troublemakers themselves. So don't believe just because you're sending your kid to a private school doesn't mean they're not going to get in trouble. My parents had to learn that the hard way. And that is why I left a all-girls Catholic school in high school because it wasn't working for me. Anywho, back to money. I think we need to talk about money. Now, as I said before, I definitely expect a man to take care of me and my children. But what I don't think is acceptable is for me not to understand the finances. Because what if that person dies? Or in my parents' case, my dad had to go to jail. So my mom's kind of left in the dark about a lot of the finances and what's going on in the family business, and like, that's not okay. I would never put myself in that situation ever again. I don't necessarily need to tell you what to do. I might want to make some suggestions, but at the end of the day, it is your money that you're making. Will I have my own money on the side in another account? Yes. But the family finances need to be talked about with both of them. And as a woman, we should know what's going on and be smart enough to make certain decisions, and understand if, God forbid, the person you're with dies, like, you should know what's going on so you can take that over and not be blindsided by this and that account and this offshore account and this Switzerland. Like, no, we don't have time for that. You need to be in the know. He may not want you to make the decisions, but you need to be in the know and put your input in and go from there. I think that is totally fair. With that being said, I'm not at that stage yet. Your girl is not married, doesn't have joint accounts. There is no ring on this finger, so I have to deal with my own accounts. And I think that it's not talked about enough amongst women, like what we should be doing. We definitely need to be saving. We definitely need to be investing. Investing is the biggest way you're going to make money. Invest, invest, invest. And let me preface this whole episode. Rewind it all back. Rewind it. I am not a financial guru. I did not go to school for finance. I do not have a finance anything. So what I'm saying is based off of me living for 5 years without any financial support from my parents, without any financial support from anyone, and learning in the past 5 years, and I'm still learning. All of this information that I'm going to talk about over the next few weeks is what I have learned in the past few years, having to, let me be correct, 6 years living by myself, having to make financial decisions by myself without the support of anyone behind me. That is where all of this information is coming from. And as I say, I think it is better to learn instead of from books, but from learning from real world experiences. That's the best way to go about this. And that's what your girl did. And that's what I want to share with you. Now, do not take this as like, I'm going to do it because no. You're going to do your own research, make sure it works for your lifestyle, make sure, it's the right choice for you and how you want to grow in your life, okay? Because I am not a financial guru. I do not have the certificates. I have life certificates from my life. That's all I have. I don't know anything. Even though I like to think I know a lot. I don't know anything. I'm just sharing with you what I've learned over the past 6 years. Just want to make sure that is clear. Okay? So, with that being said, I think it is very, 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 very important for everyone to be investing. One of the apps that your girl is going to be getting into is Alinea. What have I used? Acorns. I started with Acorns. I have a Robinhood account. Haven't looked at that one. I closed the Acorn account. I am doing my research into the Alinea investing app right now. And I think I will make my decision on that by the end of this month as well. So I will take you along with that. But something that I do find is very important to invest in is a high yield savings account. Now, there are a bunch of different ones out there. I have my like 401k out of in Fidelity because that's what my company uses. But I have a separate, these are two different accounts, mind you. 401k is a brokerage account. Remember to invest the money that is in your 401k. Go into your account and invest the money into, we'll get into what you could be investing into. That's a safe bet for right now when you don't have that much money and you don't want to lose it. We'll go into that. But remember, not a financial guru. Second of all, that's one account that I feel like everyone should have in their early 20s. And if you're lucky enough to work for a business that already has it for you, ooh, chef's kiss, beautiful. Especially Fidelity. Fidelity is great. And their headquarters are right here in Boston, so if I have an issue, your girl will be on Fidelity's doorsteps being like, excuse me. Actually, it's run by a woman. If you didn't know that, Fidelity is run by a woman. And so kudos to her. I'm going off on a tangent. Back to, yes, so your 401k. Then you obviously have a checkings account, and that's where like bills get paid out of. I have two separate checkings accounts because I also run a business and I have my personal, but those are where like a lot of bills and credit cards and stuff like that are paid out of. And then your high yield savings account. Now that puppy is a moneymaker. I think it's best to have a high yield savings account just based off of my research once again, but it helps you to, you know, save your money. I split my check, so some of it goes into the high yield savings account, some of it goes to checking for bills, and the high yield savings account, every month it tells me how much it's made off of what I have in the account at that time. So I there are a few different grade accounts with high APYs, and I don't think I used that term correctly. Maybe I did. But they have high percentages on what you get back. And mine right now, I think, is at 4.6, but I'm not sure. I have to look. But it's all I know is that it's making me money instead of taking money. Whereas like Bank of America, their savings account only makes you like 0.01 or something on the amount you have in there. No thank you, I'd rather be making 4.6, because at the end of the day, as you keep adding more and more, you're making more money and you're saving more money, which means you can save for a down payment on a house. Like, that's what I want my money to be going to, and it's hard to save. I know that. I'm well aware of that. I am well aware that it is hard to save money, especially in a day and age where inflation is rising out of the roof, where cheap quality things are being made, so you have to buy a new car, a new phone, a new this, a new that, just so that you can stay alive. And some people care about looking cool, and if they care about that, that means they have to keep up with the trends and buy this and buy that every second. And that costs a lot of money. And it means, like, how am I going to save if that costs so much money? But you got to do it. If you want to be able to make money, you have to save it so that you can buy the bigger ticket items. You got to save it to buy the multifamily house that makes you passive income. You got to save it to buy the property so you can make an Airbnb. You have to buy it so you can invest. You have to save it so that you can buy REITs, which is another way to make passive income through real estate. You have to buy it so that you can invest in your business, which will, you have to save it so that you can buy things that invest in your business, which will make you money in the long run. It's a give and take, and it's a very stressful give and take. But once you've mastered it, which many have, and it takes, trial and error, many have, and you will get there. But I think it's very important to save first and make sure your saving is paying you for saving, and you're saving for those big ticket items down the road. I know we're in our young 20s and we want to live and just experience things. There will be time for that. The time to make your money so that you can invest and make so much more money than your 9 to 5 is making you is now. Like, go, do it now. There's no excuse. Do it. That's all I have to say. Just do it. But yeah, so next week we'll dive more into like jobs, because that's been a crazy topic for a lot of us in our 20s, and just being transparent about that, and how to kind of excel in your job but leave your job when it's not treating you well anymore. So we'll talk about that next week. But this week, I want you guys to go and look at high yield savings accounts. There's Fidelity, there's SoFi, there's a few other ones. And I would go and check those out and try to open one and start saving your